Relationships are so important. I mean, when you're trying to sit down with somebody and pitch them on turning over their $1 million nest egg that they've built the last 40 years saving, it has to be about relationships. It has to be about trust. While there's a gazillion different things that you can do within marketing, we've found that the items that have helped these advisors be the most successful are the ones that help them build relationships and build connection with their leads and prospects.
Welcome out, everybody. We are here with James Anderson. He is the owner and co-founder of AdvisorLaunch.com, which is a really cool business that is helping independent financial advisors. And James, I want you to start by giving us a little bit of the elevator pitch of what is Advisor Launch, other than just this really amazing logo and brand, right? What is Advisor Launch, and who are you guys serving?
Yeah, so my partners and I started Advisor Launch few years ago with the intention of helping independent financial advisors, primarily those that are doing seminars. One of my business partners is a financial advisor, and he was doing seminars, and real good, close family friends. I mean, we basically grew up in diapers together on the same street. And we just had conversations about how to grow his business, how to improve marketing. He was also working with some other financial advisors on direct mail. And so it just kind of brought this whole thing together. And we realized that there's a lot of advisors that need help and need help post-seminar, really. There's a lot of advisors doing a lot of different marketing type things, but they didn't have systems in place to scale, to streamline their marketing or their sales. And so that's why we started Advisor Launch, was to help them do just that.
So your business is all about helping financial advisors stand out in a crowded market, in a crowded world. What do you think are some of the key traits that successful advisors share, and how do you help them to amplify those traits?
You know, some of the key things that we feel like make successful marketing, especially in the financial advisor space, and this may be somewhat broad in general, but the truth is it's super important. So much so in the financial advisory space, maybe more than a lot of other businesses. It applies to all businesses, but relationships are so important. I mean, when you're trying to sit down with somebody and pitch them on turning over their $1 million nest egg that they've built the last 40 years saving, it has to be about relationships. It has to be about trust. And so the things that we found to be successful are those marketing tactics that do that help build connection, that help build trust and likability, which plays into branding, plays into video, plays into follow-up, how you're following up, where you're following up, when you're following up with your leads. And so while there's a gazillion different things that you can do within marketing, we found that the items that have helped these advisors be the most successful are the ones that help them build relationships and build connection with their leads and prospects.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been working on Advisor Launch for a while now. You've been helping financial advisors. What was one of the early challenges that you guys faced while you were building this company, and how'd you guys overcome it?
Well, our business model works with independent financial advisors who put on live seminars. And so when COVID hit, our entire business model was shot because that's what we were doing. Ironically, so was the business model of the advisors that we were working with, because all they were doing was live in-person seminars. And so we realized, okay, every good business, you're always going to go through ups and downs, and you're always going to hit market turns or different things like that. You've got to be able to pivot. You've got to be able to adjust. And as we looked at our business, and as we looked at the businesses that we were servicing, we realized some really key important factors, that these advisors had spent all this money over the last, let's say, 20 years, and they had generated all these leads, but they weren't doing anything with the leads. They were just working with them when they would come to the seminars or the dinner seminars or the workshops or whatever, but they weren't doing anything post seminar. And so we realized right away that one of the areas that we needed to pivot and that our clients ironically also needed to pivot into was nurturing and dripping on and following up with these prospects and leads. In fact, I remember I had an advisor. It was probably May of 2020. So just a few months, May or June into 2020, when it had already closed down, everything was shut down, and we got on a call and he said, "James, I don't have a new client appointment on my books for the next 2 to 3 months." And I was shocked. And I thought, well, what are you doing? Are you following up with the leads that have come to past seminars? You've been doing this for 20 years. You've got hundreds of potential prospects. He says, we've never done any sort of email. I don't really know how to do it. I know we probably need to. And that's kind of what we hear a lot of is, I know I need to, but yet they're not doing it. And so we pivoted right away and we said, okay, that's where we need to help these guys. That's where we need to start creating systems and things so that come the next COVID or the next whatever market issue there is, economic issue that there is, there's a solution there to help them at least tap into the leads that they already have.
Yeah. And so it's interesting how there's some fundamental business practices that should be happening in any business, right? Nurture and follow up and prospecting. But so often in niche industries, certain parts of those things get forgotten, right? Yeah. So as you're working with financial advisors and you're working with a very specific type of group, right? So now you're helping them with this increasing their marketing, increasing like what they do before and after these events. What are some things that you just find yourself, man, we've got to really help people understand this principle of marketing? What are some core principles of marketing that you're trying to help financial advisors dominate?
So we have some of the core fundamental pieces of marketing that we're realizing and trying to help our clients understand. We have what we call our 5-step marketing blueprint. And it could be applied to maybe some specific areas of marketing, but I think the overall principles apply to just about any type of marketing that you're going to do. And the first is, fundamentally, you have to have an offer. Like, you can't be in business and stand out with the same call to actions as everybody else on the block. For example, if you were to go to take 100 advisor websites, probably 95 out of 100 of those websites are going to have the exact same call to action, and that'll be contact us, which really isn't much of a call to action at all, actually. And as we looked at both the seminar space and the just the post-seminar, the follow-up, and all the other marketing that these advisors were doing, there's a huge lack of focusing on offers. Now, sometimes thinking of offers can get confusing because advisors don't sell a product like a retail store or something like that. They're selling a service, and the advisors eventually make their money off of the business that they do with the clients that come in. But you still have to give those prospective clients a reason to want to come to you versus the next guy down the road. And in this space, there are so many financial advisors that you really do need to think through, why would this person want to come and listen to me? What am I doing to instill confidence and instill trust in them so that they want to come and sit down with me and listen to my expertise? So an offer is really one of those first steps that we find just is so critical. Again, that could apply to videos, to digital, to seminars, to mailers, to emails, to text, to whatever. It can be applied in every aspect of marketing, but you really got to start to focus in on what you're offering. The second is, once you've got that offer, you got to have a funnel. And when we say, funnel is kind of a loose term. A lot of people think, a digital landing page, set of pages, funnels. And while that certainly could apply, I mean literally a funnel where you have a lot of people coming in at the top, fewer people coming in at the bottom, and there's only one direction that they can go. And so when you do have your offer, you've got to create a system, really a funnel or a system to drive those leads in and capture them so that you don't lose them. You don't leak out all these leads from the different seminar or marketing that you're doing. For example, take an advisor who's doing a seminar. one of our clients was doing a seminar. He got maybe 30, 40, 50 people in the room. And he had all the emails before, but never did anything with it. There was no system in place to follow up with. There was no system to drip on. It was all up to their assistants or whoever in the office to make sure that they were doing it, and it just wasn't getting done. And so because they didn't have a system to capture and nurture those leads through, then they missed out on a ton of business. So the second piece of our 5-step blueprint really is about having a funnel or a system in place to funnel your leads from top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel, ultimately a sale.
Yeah.
The third is awareness, content, right? So many times, in fact, it's funny, we work with financial advisors, and every day these advisors preach to their clients and their prospective clients that they need to diversify their funds, that they need to diversify their portfolios, that you can't have so many eggs in one basket. You can't have all your money in the market. You got to invest in real estate or all these different strategies, right? So that if any one of them goes down, you're not left with nothing. And so they preach this principle, and yet we have found that very little of them actually apply that principle to their business and to their marketing. And so helping them realize, okay, you've got to branch out outside of just doing seminars or just doing lead gen online. You've got to be out there. You've got to start building awareness. You've got to be able to have different forms of avenues of leads coming in to be able to continue to grow your business. And that revolves around content and revolves around awareness campaigns and different things. One of my mentors actually has taught us that you'll never sell to more people than the amount of people who actually know who you are.
Yeah.
And so you've got to grow your awareness in order to be able to reach more people and sell to more people. So that's really the third factor, aspect of this blueprint. The second is launching. You know, we help advisors a lot of time with video and with different other campaigns, a mailer campaign. You take a mailer. Let's just use that example. You go through the process of designing a mail piece and putting on a seminar until you launch, until you actually get it out into the interwebs or into the mail or into whatever. You don't actually have anything. Doesn't matter how cool your logo or how cool your design is, how great your email copy is. Doesn't matter how awesome your video is. If you don't have a strategic plan to get that out, then you'll fail in your marketing. And so that fourth piece really is all about creating a strategic launch plan so that once you have your offer, once you've got a system and you've got all this content that now you've created, it's time to turn it on and go. And that's really the fuel of the launch, is getting that strategy in place so that you can go. And then, of course, the fifth step of this is really to follow up and nurture. Once you've got those leads captured in, you've got your launch plan going, you've got to start following up with those leads, and you've got to have a process in place. Again, that kind of ties into the system, but I mean specifically, you have to regularly drip on. Ironically, this is sometimes one of the hardest things to do. And I'm a marketer, and I admit that it's sometimes one of the hardest things to do, but doesn't refute the fact that it actually needs to be done. You still got to stay in front of people, and you've got to drip on them. And ideally, you drip on them with your content instead of somebody else's canned content. And that could be a text, that could be an email, it could be a podcast, it could be a video, it could be a mail piece in the mail, it could be a letter, it could be whatever. But you've got to drip on these people and follow up with them so that you stay top of mind when they're ready to make the decision on who to work with.
Absolutely. I've heard it said that the fortune is in the follow-up, right? If you do all those other things, but then you're not following up, you're definitely leaving some money on the table. Give me a really short summary. Like, go back through and recap that 5-step marketing blueprint. Just because I think it's really important that people understand those 5 steps.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 5 steps to our 5-step blueprint, our marketing blueprint, is first, you got to have an offer. You got to refine the offer. You got to have something of value for people. The second is you've got to create a funnel or a system to be able to capture those leads. The third is you got to create content. You got to create awareness. You've got to have a way to build interest and awareness around your business. The fourth is you finally have to take all that and launch it. You have to get it out. And then fifth is once you have it out and leads are starting to come in, you've got to have drip nurturing to follow up with those leads. And that's the 5 steps to our 5-step blueprint.
Awesome. James, it's been great getting to know you a little bit more, learning more about Advisor Launch. I encourage everybody to go check out advisorlaunch.com to learn more about their 5-step marketing blueprint and how they can help you.